Hello, and welcome to Talking Through Our Hats. I'm Billy, and that is Derek, and this episode we'll be talking about our
zombie apocalypse / hats.
Absolutely. How you doing, bud?
Good. I'm excited for this zombie dedicated apocalypse episode.
I would consider myself a zombie expert. Ever since
A
2004, Dawn
connoisseur?
of the Dead. No, not a connoisseur, expert.
Well, aren't those kind of synonymous words? Like, can't you say connoisseur and expert?
No, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a thesaurus. So
Me neither.
let's just get into it.
Yeah,
okay?
we'll just work with it.
So the problem with the zombie apocalypse, okay, and this comes from a viewer comment, okay, that wants to talk about zombies, zombie apocalypse, all that sort of stuff. The problem with movie zombies are they are made to be theatrical, and it's very unlikely. Okay. So all the zombies that you think, coming out of the grave or, only being shot in the head right away, like everyone's dead within the first day, that really wouldn't happen because it's going to be just like a biological sort of thing that's going to attack the brain. Something like a rabies, something like a parasite, something like a virus. Yes. There's going to be different mutations to that as well. The human body is not a good host at all. So for instance, if
have you seen my body, brother? This thing is an image of health in it could carry a virus. Okay. If COVID gets in here,
you definitely.
If COVID gets in here, I'm not going in. It's stuck in here. Okay, my body is virus central.
Okay, we're talking about zombies here. Okay, keep it together.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. And to your point, I never understood the zombie movies where they come out of the ground.
So you would have to believe it's some sort of then spiritual god, almost like a curse on mankind. Okay.
Yeah.
And the older I get, the less I believe that there's one God that's just hovering over Earth, watching Earth. I just, if there is a God, he built all everything else. Okay, so the coming out of the ground, it's just not real. Okay, they're bones. Right. They can't do stuff. Okay, but even zombies, when they become what we would consider zombies, okay, when you go through the different versions of mutations, they still are a human vessel, okay? And at that point, version 1 is very susceptible. Version 1 is just like any other person. You can throw them off a building. You can slit their throat. They bleed out in 5 minutes. They're dead, okay? Version 3 zombies, they are the ones that you must destroy the brain because it's just running on electrical functions and everything else.
I think we're going a little too quick. Let's break down our idea of version 1, 2, and 3 zombies.
Our idea. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've been the one researching and I'm the expert. So, I mean, you haven't even seen Resident Evil and Shaun of the Dead up until like a week ago.
I did see Shaun of the Dead. It wasn't that good. But
okay. So version 1, okay, V1. That's when we start getting weird reports, and it could be even like a COVID variant of people acting crazy. I would think it's going to be more of like a parasite, rabies kind of thing, where it just attacks the brain.
Okay.
And what'll happen with that is the first version, just going to be people getting sick. Okay. Maybe they got like bit by a monkey, bit by a cat, something like that. Just very benign. Okay. They get sick.
So you think it stems from a animal?
So
you
some of my inspiration
there, which is fine. I honestly also agree that it would be some sort of weird mutant,
like a parasite.
Mutant parasite that could be
right. Like just let's say it's like ringworm or like a dog that has rabies that bites someone. It's just something happened. Okay, so and it only takes one case. We've seen with COVID how one case can turn into people that we know that have had it and everything else.
Yep.
But at first, it's not the flesh-eating, I want to eat your brain zombies as we see in the movies, okay? Because a 15-hour movie describing the time frame of a real zombie apocalypse would be pretty boring, okay? That's why all the movies we like, it's quick action-paced. They get bit, they turn right away. I mean, version 1 it's just like any other viral parasite kind of thing. So if you get infected with that person, saliva, scratch, sneezing, yes.
what are the side effects of version 1? So just like you're saying, like, let's say you get infected with version 1, you're not
Okay.
a full-blown zombie that we know and
No,
love. What
no.
are the side effects? What's going on?
So what happens is version 1 is a very, very bad virus. So you get fever, chills, and this only happens to a certain amount of people. Okay, not everyone that gets version 1, just like not everyone that gets COVID, dies. Okay, there's a very small percentage because of body type and everything else. So the very small percentage of these people, what actually happens is they they go into they get bad enough with the fevers, with the muscle aches, with the chills that they actually go into a sort of coma. Okay,
Okay.
depending on how much viral load they've gotten, okay, they turn, quote unquote, anywhere between 1 hour and 24 hours. And when I say by turn,
This is version 1?
yes.
Okay.
But for
Explain
reverse,
turn, because turn in zombie movies means like World War Z. You get bit, and 10 seconds later you turn
no,
into
no, no,
this
no.
crazy
So
zombie.
you're not dead. Your vitals didn't shut down.
Okay.
Your brain equilibrium, because this is version 1. The parasite, or I'm just going to call it a parasite. Okay,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
okay. The parasite doesn't know the new host of a human very well.
Okay.
So what happens is the brain function of this person now that is coming out of their coma, and like I said, the coma only lasts for a couple hours and then they come back. Okay, their brain function is severely diminished. Okay, and I know, have you ever been drunk? I know you don't drink, but have you ever been like drunk, like I can't walk straight?
No.
Okay, so many of the people will know what that's like out there. Okay, you can't drive a car, can't even walk up steps, you can't walk right, that sort of stuff. That's what you come back as.
Okay.
But you're
You
highly
come back as a
infectious.
drunk person.
Not necessarily, but no, but what I mean is your
No,
equilibrium's off.
I
So
get
you
what you're
can't
saying. I get what you're saying.
you can't like
You're
go
off
climb
balance. You
upstairs.
can't.
But you're infectious. So like, your loved ones that are like just watching you, that they don't know what's going on. You can't talk because you have no function. You literally, the parasite is just trying to make sure that it can move around and spit on someone else.
Okay.
Well, that happens for a while, okay? And it's little pockets. It's all over the world, okay? It's little stories here or there about people, having comas, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Well, a couple months go by. There's reports of people actually now coming out of that coma and attacking people.
Okay. So
Okay,
let's break down time frame. So
okay,
and what we think a zombie apocalypse would actually be. It starts off with this parasite, which is version 1.
yep.
So let's say that starts at January.
You can edit
1st.
some stuff in, like V1, stuff like that.
I'll try.
Okay.
I hope you guys appreciated the editing I did last podcast. I am working
awesome.
at it. I'm trying to get better, so we'll see what kind of comes out of this. But version 1 is you're kind of sick, going to this like coma, stuff like that. You're just not all there. Let's say that happens on January 1st, okay, of the year. When does version 2 start to kick in?
Honestly, I would say 2 to 3 months.
Okay, so we're looking March, February time, sometime around there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what these zombies are, okay? The hosts now, the parasite, I should say. I'm sorry. Let's back this up. The parasite realizes that the body is not a good host. Okay, as much as we are both specimens of human nature,
raw power. Yeah.
Okay. If we don't have water within 3 days, we die. Usually. Okay. Like a human body needs water to survive. Human body also needs food to survive. Okay. So what happens is now these versions, okay, when they start to deteriorate, so they are much more aggressive. They are looking for sustenance. Okay. So they're attacking cats, dogs, whatever the hell it is. Okay. It's not just going after people because it's trying to feed itself.
No, yeah.
At this point, it's learned that it doesn't need to have as much water as a normal human, a gallon a day. It can survive on rainwater. Okay. So like just being out in the rain, because what's happening is the parasite, instead of using the human body as the human body's designed, it is changing the you know what I'm trying to say, the physiological self of the body to slow down. to
it's altering the body's needs to fit its own needs,
which is to reproduce and just infect. It doesn't care if you live to 75 and have a Corvette. It wants to
which
keep
everyone
reproducing.
wants that.
Exactly. Okay. So now this version, okay, doesn't have the same equilibrium problem.
Okay.
So it's still a little wonky, but now it can
wonky tonky.
Now it can climb upstairs. Now it can do this sort of stuff, and it's much more aggressive. Okay.
This is where we're getting to danger zone.
Yeah.
So okay, version 1 zombies are like, if we had to compare it to a movie, it's just a movie about sick people. Version 2 zombies are like Shaun of the Dead zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're able to kind of do stuff. They're not strong, they're not fast, they're not anything like that. They're kind of Shaun of the Dead, just
but they're attacking people. Okay?
Well, they were doing that in Shaun of the Dead, just very slow.
Well, and they were and the infection. So at first, the host, the parasite, was just trying to get you to infect. Then it realizes that it still needs a small amount of sustenance. So now it's just attacking anything that moves. Okay, because at first it was mostly sight based. Okay, but the longer the hearing started getting there and being able to kind of triangulate where sounds are coming from. So now you're talking about, instead of being the drunk zombie, you're getting a little bit more coherent. You can hear stuff better, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Also at this time, it is learning that even if you don't find sustenance, it actually starts breaking down the internal organs, because all that's really needed to move, it starts breaking down the lactic acid and converting that into fuel.
Billy. Big word.
Well, I've thought about this for a while. So it's converting lactic acid, which is normally produced when a person dies, and that's producing
Isn't it also produced, like if you work out, the soreness that you get is lactic acid buildup because you tore essentially the muscles and that.
So what's happening is it's using that as fuel, and it's breaking down your other organs as fuel. So now these zombies are only they really are sound driven, vision driven. Okay,
and this is still version 2. Okay,
so this was a person that was sick. They got it, and then they had a really bad reaction to it. Okay. And they're passing this along. So now more people you're seeing it on Facebook, you're seeing viral videos. People are actually starting to get concerned. They're like, what's this new? And they call it like human rabies or something. They'll call it like, virus X or something, whatever it is. Okay. Because it's not a zombie. It's not a zombie. Yeah. It's not a zombie. Okay.
So let's before we get into version 3, let's do another quick synopsis. This is going to help me for editing, just because it's going to be easy. Version 1 is
drunk. I need to spit on you.
Sick drunk people. They're sick with the virus.
And if they're by themselves, like they're in the woods or something, they're dead within 3 days, because unless they fell in a pool, which then they would drown, because they're a normal human body, which you can still stab, cut, whatever.
Yeah.
They still need, if they're out in the cold and they die, and they're going to freeze to death, hypothermia. So version
1 is sick, drunk humans with still human weaknesses, essentially.
Yes, but no formal consciousness as far as what they're doing.
So loss of consciousness with human weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Version 2 is that as elevated, essentially, so that it is still loss of consciousness. They don't have any consciousness, but they're more aggressive and they're more coordinated.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's when the parasite starts realizing that it doesn't need all the stupid human organs to move.
Okay.
It needs a brain, because that's where the nerve functions are going. It's finding a way to turn our bodies into a perfect machine that only does what it wants to do. Have you ever seen those? Like, maybe if we can edit some picture in, there was some sort of I don't know, they called it like a spider parasite or something. It was a parasite inside of a bug, and then it like grew out of it and like turned it into like just it turned it into a machine to do what it wanted to do, and it was some sort of
And it's
parasite. They actually called it.
spider parasite.
Well, no, I think it's, they look up zombie parasite and zombie parasite bug, and what it does is it actually takes over the host and makes it do what it wants to do.
Zombie parasite snail, zombie parasite snail, because that's the first thing.
It might have been. It might have been that.
Let's take a look here. Zombie parasite, zombie snails, world's deadliest. It's on Nat Geo. Who is the parasite in zombie snails? According to biologist Sucine, amber snails are often host to this parasitic flatworm called green-banded broodsack, or a complicated word. The worm seizes the motor neurons and lands the eyes stalks and increases the green, orange, and red. Okay, so basically this green banded
over
thing, yeah. It's a flatworm that takes over the snail and controls it. Okay.
So it's a parasite. So literally like a sick cat from some other country could have it bite someone that has a condition to something like that, or a low immune system. I mean, I have alopecia, high blood pressure, anxiety, Crohn's. So maybe I'm a perfect host for that thing because of my, you know what I mean? So it's possible.
Yes. Yeah, makes sense.
We never knew of COVID before. Now we're all wearing masks and everything else.
Exactly.
So let me know when you want to get to version 3, because this is when it gets scary. This is when the movies normally would take off, but they have to do it within a night.
I think I'm good right now. I mean, I think I'm ready for it. I'm nervous, I'm scared, but I think I'm ready to hear what would probably happen. And again, just to another quick recap, this is Billy's idea of how a zombie apocalypse would actually unfold. Nothing like the normal. Well, okay, give me another time frame. So March, version 2 starts to happen. From version 2 to version 3, when does version 3 happen?
June, July.
Oh, so it's quicker. It's like 4 months.
What's happening with version 3 is
so you're saying in 7 months we get version 3.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear it.
The start of version 3, because it's all small area. It's not pockets.
Yep.
And then it eventually gets bigger. I mean, it's not like we're gonna wake up one day and go, "Oh, zombie apocalypse." No, it's gonna be a slow. Yeah, it's gonna be a slow transition until we're just highway bandits. Okay, so version 3. What happens with version 3 and why we're in June, July is the zombies now, they have a version 2 zombies have a lifespan, normal lifespan, okay? Is about 1 to 3 months.
Version 2 or 1 to 3 months?
Yes.
Okay.
But there's a small pocket of them. Some of the parasites got smart. What they did was, if there is no activity whatsoever, they go dormant. Gotcha. They feed on the body. So now instead of just taking a little bit from your lungs, it ate away your heart, liver, lungs. The only thing that's functioning is you're hibernating. You're sitting there. The parasite is waiting.
Gotcha.
It's waiting with a little bit of fuel left. What happens with that is you go into a building, you're looking for something, you go check your grandma that you haven't seen in a couple months, whatever, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You get bit.
Oh, no.
You turn within 10 minutes. You are fresh. What happens now is you search out water sources. You don't fall in, you don't die. This parasite has evolved to where it will keep its human functions unless deemed unnecessary. So it will still pump blood. It will run. It will chase. It won't make pyramids like World War Z, but this zombie is the one that is going to run you down in the street.
So this zombie is basically normal human form with no consciousness, though. So it doesn't understand what it's doing.
Furious rage to kill humans, to either
And
infect.
the parasite has generated, like the parasite evolved to get this rage, or is the parasite evolved to grow the parasite even more, infect more people, and that is just a side effect of it? The infecting people equals out to rage, or is it a parasitic?
No, I mean it changes because in nature, okay, you either kill or be killed.
Mm-hmm.
This parasite is taking over our body.
Yep.
And what happens with these version 3s are, it doesn't, like I said, doesn't take hours to, you turn within minutes. And
Okay.
then you're running around. And now the parasite, though, that was in version 2, version 3 now, it passes very quickly as well. So
Okay.
one
So
person
it's
gets
more
bit, another
infected.
person gets bit. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And then, so what happens is, so let's say one of these version 3 zombies comes in my house, okay?
Oh no.
I shoot it in the chest, okay?
Oh, wrong move.
Dude, put it down, okay? Because it's version,
It's
all the other versions, like, we can pretty much do that because they're still running on human, they're normal, just humans, okay? What happens is it starts bleeding out a little bit. Then the neurons actually are still firing.
Using some big words here. Oh no. Looks like me and Billy might have got disconnected here. We'll give it a
Wait,
second.
what?
You went paused, you were like this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we good now?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. So
Yeah,
okay.
so version 3
He's bleeding
is
out.
now,
Yeah.
so the neurons are firing. Now it's, instead of using blood pressure to get everything moving, it's firing up that lactic acid to actually start just moving the muscles.
I want to preface at this point right now. Billy and I, at least I can speak for myself, I know zero about human anatomy, and I don't know if that would be physically possible. But
The parasite turns.
zombies aren't physically possible, so this is our reasoning and how we think it would actually happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So those zombies, they keep the human anatomy because it just works better. Okay.
Yep.
Instead of like having to always run on lactic acid and eat away at your organs.
Yeah.
It's good to do that. But they can also go dormant as well if they don't find food, they don't hear anything. Exactly. But they can last a lot longer because they do not need anything else but muscle power and their brain. They will eventually rot away within 6 months.
Okay, so you're telling me,
but there's constant renewal of cycles, and there's pockets here and there that, like,
more and more infected. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's not that they last forever, because I mean it's a human body. I do not believe like half a missing human, but I mean yes, it's still deadly, but the muscles will eventually deteriorate. There's not enough fuel. Within 6 months, version 3 without stimulus or outside food will rot away, and then they're dead.
Makes sense. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good way to explain our zombie apocalypse and how we would think it would actually happen. It led me actually your last point there, the zombie. Well, okay, one final breakdown for editing, just to make it as easy as possible so we can understand. Zombie. Is it series 1, generation 1,
version 1? V for version, V for virus.
Okay. So zombie V1 is drunk, sick person, can't really do much, not really attacking, drunk, sick, zombie,
infectious. Yeah.
V2 is sick,
aggressive,
but lacking the motor skills of a human, basically.
It's getting some of them back, but it's not necessarily, it's not running after, it's not chasing you upstairs. I mean, if you're in my physical, I don't run from anything. We can outrun those. Okay. No problem. Unless we get cornered, because
V3 is full-blown zombie with full-blown human capabilities.
Yeah.
Okay. So V1 is
and it has no fear, and it has one purpose, which is to infect.
And that's full-blown zombie. Yep, that's full-blown zombie. V1 is basically what's a movie about sick people?
Outbreak. You ever see that old
No.
movie with the monkey? 93. It was about like Ebola virus and stuff.
Okay.
So it's the Outbreak movie, but they don't know that they're not, that they're getting their family sick because their mind is completely blown.
And then V2 is Shaun of the Dead.
Mm-hmm. But not to the fact, because Shaun of the Dead, you still had to kill him just in the brain. V2 is still
Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead movement. How about that?
Yes.
Okay. Shaun of the Dead
absolutely.
movement.
Yep.
V3
and we're not popping out of graves or anything else like that.
No,
that's just
that's
stupid.
Once you're dead, you're dead. If you weren't infected beforehand, you're not infected now.
Nope. We're not even doing the Walking Dead thing.
Question though.
What?
Zombie gets infected. He works at the morgue. He starts biting these dead bodies. Do they come back to life? Does this parasite come back to life inside of a dead body? It's not going to bite a body in the ground, but if there's a dead person, let's say me and you are fighting for something and one of us dies.
Because the parasite still has to be part of that host first.
Okay.
A live host. So it can actually reproduce, because it has to grow a little bit bigger and attach to a live. That's why, like, if you bite a zombie, or if like a zombie bites a zombie, I don't even know where I was going with that. But
I would definitely bite a zombie, yeah, for sure.
And then you'll get sick.
No, but
depends on what version.
Okay, yeah, depends on what version. So version 3, what movie would accurate representation of that? I feel like
28 Days Later.
Okay, 28 Days Later. Now, a rare version 4 that probably wouldn't happen, but if it did, would be like World War Z, where they're extremely fast. The parasite has evolved past what the human body can do and pushes it to its extreme limits.
And it would only want to infect people that are healthy and everything else like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, World War Z took like a night. We would take at least a year and a half. I mean, for version 4, like that's like 2, 3, 4 years down the road.
Yeah, honestly, it's timing, but it's also.
I mean, but to even live in version 3 world, I mean, that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
I mean, because we have now just political stuff going on, and you can't find guns, ammo, stuff like that. So imagine if your neighbors are starting to get people sick and everyone's freaking out. I mean, I'm not going to work. I'm not going to do my normal thing because someone's going to come in, looking like a.
Hey, you want to go to work?
Yeah, no. So then we have to figure out what we're going to do, in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's always something that I like to think about because I enjoy zombies. And I told you before we started the show that I had some nuggets for you. One of the only books that I've read cover to cover is the Guide to Surviving the Zombie Apocalypse
by Max Brooks. I've read that as well.
Yeah.
It's an awesome book. But that was actually after I've been researching. That's when zombies were like popular. I started researching because I got freaked out by a goddamn movie and started prepping. I mean, that's why got some. You got some hardware. I mean.
Yep. Show the other thing that you had.
This thing.
It rhymed with Ama Walk.
Oh, not the.
Oh, or the machete.
No, it's a knife.
Yeah, that's a machete.
It's not a machete. Oh, the rusty Yamahawk.
So, Billy, for all the people listening on Audible or anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm holding
Audible, up. Not Audible. Audible's for audiobooks. For Spotify.
If we get good enough, Apple, we're going to have an Audible.
Anyone listening to it, you can go over to our YouTube page. It's Talking Through Our Hats at youtube.com. There should be a link in the description. Click that.
And I'm holding up rusty.
Billy was holding weapons. Up some bladed weapons. If you really want to see some weaponry, I got something right here. Look at that. It's a very tiny screwdriver that I was using to put together a dresser. But that actually kind of brings me to the Max Brooks book. The two things that I took away from that were
I'm excited for this.
the best tool to have in a zombie apocalypse is a crowbar. He explains it because a crowbar is heavy enough to kill a zombie, but it's also it's
Yep.
used to pry things open. It's a tool. Like it's a very good tool that
Doors,
you can pry
car
things open,
doors.
you can
Yep.
break things with, and you can also kill a zombie with as well. So that was something that I definitely thought. And the other thing that stuck in my mind is if a zombie apocalypse happens, everyone needs to shave their head. Girls can't have long hair because long hair, loose clothing, anything like that that a zombie could grab and pull you in, you're done. You want to be as tight closed, no hair, nothing hanging off of you. So
Well, have you watched The Walking Dead, which is an awesome show?
I did watch The Walking Dead. Now I watched the first 3 seasons, and after that I stopped watching it because it's on like season
Is
408, and
okay?
it's just
So yeah,
annoying.
it jumped the shark a while ago.
The-
But there was an episode where Shane cut his hair because the one guy, the fat guy that he shot in the knee, I guess grabbed his hair and it was holding him because remember he shot the fat guy as like bait.
Oh yeah, they were running away. Yeah, they were in
Yep,
like the
yep.
school or something like that. It's been a
Yes,
while, so I've only watched it
yeah.
once, and it was a while ago. But
But the reason that he shaved his head was because he shot that guy in the knee. The guy
no,
just like was grabbing his hair, stuff like that, and then he of course said, "Oh, the guy didn't make it," but he knows because I think Carl, get the goddamn hell, Carl. They
why, Carl?
they needed
Why?
they needed medicine for him. So yeah,
No, yeah, it's those were the
cut
two
your
things that
hair and crowbar.
and get a crowbar because it makes sense. Like a shovel, okay, that's a good tool, but it's not really like it can't do much other than dig and hit a zombie in the head. A crowbar can do a ton of stuff, like things you might not even think that it could do. It
Yeah.
can do. It's a useful tool, and
There is a I have one, and I'll have to maybe send a picture for you to edit in. It is a crowbar end, but on the one end is a spike, so it's like a manhole cover crowbar kind of thing.
Okay.
So it has a crowbar end, so you can pry and stuff like that, but it's just sharpened to a point on the one end. So I would say that would be, and I have it. I think it's in my closet somewhere.
Okay.
That would be something that because you can pierce.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you're going to have to destroy the brain.
Yeah.
It's not, a shot to the chest. You're going to have to destroy the brain.
Yeah. And again, it depends on what version we're talking about. Version 1, you hit zombie version 1 in the head with a crowbar or in the chest as hard as you can.
Oh, yeah.
That thing falls down. It's down. You can walk away from it.
No, but hold on. You do have to remember the versions, they're very potent as far as passability, transmissibility. So if you're smashing a zombie with a crowbar, one drop of blood in your eye, in your nose, you get a scratch.
I'm not saying that I'm walking around with the crowbar. I'm saying that's the best tool. I would be saying I'd be walking around nowhere. I'd be up in a safe house with an AR-15, just pop, 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 and taking them down. Exactly.
I'm pointing at exactly what. So I live on a second story of a garage.
Yep.
I have one stairwell, very narrow, very tight. So version 1 and 2 zombies are not getting up. Okay. Yep. Version 3 is going to have even some trouble because version Billy, even every once in a while,
normal human has trouble.
So, I mean, I barricade that. What I would do, I do have spare wood to actually build like you'd put it from a stairwell to where the wall is so that you kind of have like a little barricade. And then I would put heavy stuff on top of that so that literally nothing can get up there. Okay. Yeah. I have all my preps and supplies up here anyway. Plus I do park my vehicle right out front, backed in. So I have a little like roof thing. So legitimately, if I need to get out of my house and not use the stairs, it's like a 2-foot drop from the top of that little roof to the top of my car. I'm out. So first, though, don't you
have a sunroof too?
Yeah, but I can't just like jump through it.
Why not?
I'm fat. I'm too fat. So anywho, what you're gonna want to do first, though, when all this stuff starts happening, you want to black out the windows of your house or apartment.
Okay. Yes.
Because you don't want to attract light from anywhere. Okay.
So these zombies in your mind of how zombie apocalypse would work are attracted to light.
Well, it isn't everything. I mean, it sees. I mean,
I
well,
thought
that, and you're also
majority
gonna.
I thought majority of zombies were more attracted to sound than they were light.
Okay, I will agree
Because
with that, but
because
you
like
also don't want to attract attention of other live people because
no,
at this point,
that is the point. It's not
yeah,
the blacking out and the remaining hidden isn't because zombies are going to see light far away and be like, let me go get that. It's the other human beings who are roaming
yep,
around like, I need food to save my family. Let me
exactly.
go. Yeah. Okay.
Let me
Got
go
it.
kill that guy. So what you're going to want to do for your vehicle, okay? Because everyone would love an armored vehicle. I would love one.
Oh,
Okay.
I have 8 of them. If you tuned into, I think it was episode 4, we discussed kind of our preps and stuff, and I got 8 on a missile.
Can I have one of them so I don't have to do what I have to do to
You
my
know,
RAV4? Okay, so I'll
Billy,
just tell you what I'm going to do
yeah,
to my RAV4.
yeah.
Okay.
How about we just do
So
that?
I have rolls of duct tape. Okay. And what you're going to want to do is overlap layers of duct tape on the windows, but leave a small opening so you can see. What that does is when zombies are trying to beat in your glass doesn't break because a couple layers of duct tape is pretty gosh darn strong. And they can't open your doors because you're going to lock your doors. And they don't have the motor function to actually realize that that's a car door to open
The
it.
only thing that would, I get the premise.
It's
They can't
solid
break
for
your
what I have
glass.
right now. Yeah,
For what we have right now in a short prep, you have what you have.
absolutely.
It's a very solid option.
Yeah.
In practice, it might be hard with the limited view. Have you ever seen Bird Box?
Yes.
When they black out everything and they drive just using the sensors on their car?
No. So what I'm not saying black it out because it's not like I don't have to see
No.
out there. I'm saying if you layer in some X's every once in a while, just so that even if they do break the glass, it's
It
not
stays
going
together.
in.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I've seen that on like YouTube when people put just an X of tape on something
Exactly.
and throw it.
So you
Yeah.
you overlap
Yeah,
it.
I
You
get what
still
you're
can
saying.
see out of it.
Yeah.
It's almost like window netting. Okay, but I'm just going to do it furiously all over the place. Okay.
Yeah.
So that if I do, because I don't expect to be surrounded by hundreds of zombies, but if one of them happens to I'm somewhere and it tries to smack the window, I get startled. Whoa, what's that?
Yeah.
Let them just smack at it. I
Makes
don't have
sense.
to attract attention. Okay. So you're going to want to black out your taillights. That's
Okay.
for more of the human element because if you are roaming it around at night in the wintertime,
Are you
you're gonna want to.
are you doing this with lights off? Like headlights off? Because
No, because you leave the headlights on, but you know that when you turn your headlights on, the taillights come on.
yeah, I
If
know.
a human is chasing you in their vehicle, you have access to your headlights. Who needs taillights in the apocalypse? You black those out so you don't
It's a
attract
good point.
attention to yourself.
My only thought is I'm
And then
driving
you have
down
the
this
option.
road
Yeah, but you
trying
have
to
the option
remain
of turning on your headlights. Turn them on or off. I'm
but
saying though, you black out the taillights and you don't have to worry who's going to rear end you in the apocalypse at
you'd
night.
be surprised. I bet you'd be surprised.
Maybe. Wonder if they have Geico.
Hopefully they do because
Geico is our
15% or more on car insurance.
Actually, yeah.
And that leads us perfectly to our sponsor, Geico. You want to know something funny, Billy? I was actually in the market for some car insurance recently.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I bet you did a lot of comparison shopping.
I did a ton of comparison shopping, and
Okay.
Geico was the one that could save me money. Okay.
Wow.
My monthly rate, let me pull it up here for you. My monthly rate was about $70,000.
Holy crow!
Monthly.
That is highway robbery.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Geico was able to take it down to $69,000. Saved me a whole $1,000 a month. It was insane.
Do you know what you could do with an extra $1,000 a month when it comes to prepping for the zombie apocalypse? How much duct tape and ramen noodles?
Exactly. But we bring this up jokingly. But I was actually looking at car insurance, and I actually have, if you can see there, Geico did call me recently, and I didn't pick up because
like how you have me in your phone as sweetheart.
Yeah, that's you, Billy. Yep, sweetheart.
I know. Thank you.
No, but if you go to geico.com/TTOH pod 15, because 15% could save you 15% or 15 on 15. If you go
Lots of 1.5s.
If you go, hey, 1.5, Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, best player in the league. Don't even at me. Nothing. Best player in the league. Sorry, I had to get my Nuggets in there. But geico.com/TTOH15, you can save at least $2. And that's bare minimum.
Yeah.
That's bare minimum, Billy.
So another tip I was thinking about, okay?
Thank you to Geico.
I do have lots of pew-pews, okay? But you're not going to really want to use that unless absolutely necessary. Because
know what gun
they
you're
are
going to want to use?
A crossbow.
No. If you have to use a pew-pew, you use a 22. Gun. It's the smallest, it's the quietest. They're pretty that's my pew that I have.
Yeah. I have a couple of those. I actually hold on, because this is how crazy I am. Here's actually a 22 pew single action revolver just right at the ready. Oh, dude, I have another. Look.
If you accidentally fire
so anyway, I
don't think we can show this actually, Billy.
Why?
I don't think, because we get demonetized for
you could edit this out. You could edit this out.
I'll put something over your
thank God I was
hands,
in whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't remember the.
Yeah, it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
God knows I was
and
in
anyway,
Gary's,
I
and
just
I got
started
2 guns.
blasting.
And anyway, I started blasting. So yeah, that's what I feel like right now.
Yeah, okay,
you have to blur this out.
Yeah, thanks. You're making it. I'm just gonna put a big thing over yours. So me and Billy were talking about pews. But no, if you had to use a pew, it'd be a 22.
Yep. But you're going to want something more powerful for the other people, because
and that's
a 22 is absolutely fine. Like 1 or 2 shots to the head.
You can do it one,
scrambles
dude.
around.
Yeah,
why no? But sometimes there has been stories where it just grazes off their head. So I'm putting at least 2 in their head. Okay,
no,
just in case one of them does.
You put one real quick, and if it doesn't affect it, you put another one and take it down.
No, I have enough ammo, and I don't think I have enough ramen noodles to last me, so I'm putting 2 in the head.
Okay, 2 in the head.
Yep. But bladed weapons for close up, obviously. Yep. But you don't want to get close up. That's I'm chilling in my apartment.
You want to remain as far away as possible from anyone on any contact at all. Yep. Your perfect zombie apocalypse.
That's why I say you black out the windows, because people don't even know you're there.
No, your perfect zombie apocalypse is you by yourself or with a loved one, whoever you trust, whatever your crew is. You there. Next thing you know, you hear a thing on the radio. Everything's fine. The zombie apocalypse is over, and you didn't encounter one single thing that entire time.
You did smart.
You did your own stuff. You had your own. You didn't encounter a single thing. That is the smart zombie apocalypse.
I'm watching, because I mean, barring someone just burning down my garage, which is a possibility. That's why I have the quick exit. I always keep my keys in that room, because then I can just hop out the window. I know that's a little bit of paranoia, OCD.
Yeah, we're really breaking down. So we thought it'd be fun to do a zombie episode because there was a comment about it, but this is really breaking down the paranoia that lives inside Billy's head. So
it really,
if you're a trained psychiatrist,
it explains
please,
the giant knives that I have, the guns that I have, the hobbies that I call them hobbies, but it's actually just a support system for my mental insecurities.
Hobbies is it's just a farce. Hobbies is just what you say, so you don't.
I actually let people believe that I prepare for the zombie apocalypse so that I don't have to face my inner demons. Yes, that's exactly. We narrowed it down here. That was a great episode going into my brain.
Yes.
This was very therapeutic. I feel like I should pay everyone $125.
No, what you guys should do is you should start paying us $125, because this content is hard to make. It's fun to make. Yeah. We enjoy making it, but I mean, we put a lot of money into this. I mean, it's at least every episode we put out, I did run the numbers. Yep. It's about $2,700. At least minimum. That we have to put out of our pockets. Yep. Out of our own pockets. Yep. So, and we don't get paid that much. So, I mean, it would really help if we can start getting some donations and, getting some subscriptions, that sort of stuff. People actually watching it. Yes. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, the podcast will now be on Spotify. Hopefully soon. We are everywhere. Apple and Google. It's gonna be out there pretty much everywhere, guys. So anywhere you are listening to this, please follow us on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple, anywhere. Just follow us. leave a comment, leave a like, anything like that. Please also email us at ttohpod@gmail.com. We can get some ideas of what you want us to talk about. This episode was a fan-based episode. A fan commented and said, we want to hear more about a zombie apocalypse. So we decided to do a zombie apocalypse themed episode on how we thought it would happen. I think it turned out pretty well, Billy. How about you?
Yeah, it's a topic that I would, like I said, I'm an expert on. I've watched a lot of the movies. We didn't even like delve into our favorite movies or anything like that. I mean, we got a little bit of time. So, I mean, yeah, I got 10 minutes. How about that?
Okay,
Let's set a timer.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me get this. Hold on. I'm a boomer.
While you're setting that timer, Billy, I'm gonna preference it. I have watched some zombie apocalypse movies. I enjoy them. They're fun to watch, but I want you to see like any zombie apocalypse movies that you don't think I've seen. Let me know and what you recommend, because I've only seen a couple.
Definitely the first Resident Evil.
Never saw it.
So it's based on a video game. Okay. Have you ever heard of Resident Evil video game? Am I boring you that you're looking at your cat?
No, my cat was freaking out and sprinting around the house, so I was just making sure he's good. But no.
So the Resident Evil franchise,
Resident Evil is
that gets more into the walking human zombies aren't even the scary thing. You know, they have those monsters that they create and everything. So that's a really good like sci-fi, like this is never going to happen, but it's so cool that it is. Okay. They have a lot of them, but the first one, just see if you like it, see if you can get into it, and then go from there. I think they made like 5 or 6. I'd say that's really, really good. Okay. Dawn of the Dead, 2004. That is the one that got me hooked on.
Dawn of the Dead or Shaun of the Dead?
Dawn of the Dead. Ving Rhames, some other person. It's at the mall.
I'm pulling it up now.
Okay.
Dawn.
So while you're pulling that up, so we don't have dead air time. Dawn of the Dead, that was the one where the zombies are fast. They die and then reanimate
I have
like
not
right
seen
away.
This.
Dude,
it looks like garbage, Billy.
Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at these zombies.
And everything. Yeah, dude,
I'm looking at
they scared the shit out of me, dude. That started this whole thing. I watched that and I go, oh my God, I don't want to go outside.
Oh, wait.
Yes, Billy, Dawn of the Dead. Are we talking about the same movie? I have a feeling we're not.
Okay, do you see these? Are these the zombies you're talking about?
No.
Oh, okay. No. Well, Dawn of the Dead
remake, the 2004 remake.
Yeah, I just typed in Dawn of the Dead 2004.
No, 2004.
Okay.
There.
I mean, you can clearly see these guys are wearing masks.
Well, that's a running scene. Okay, go to the other person. It's creepy.
Okay, so this is the thing with me in zombie movies.
With that scene with the buses that you just clicked on, that's freaky as shit because they armor up buses in the bottom of the mall. They try to get to a boat to get to, and like half the team dies. A bus flips over. Some chick gets her stomach cut up by a chainsaw.
So the thing for me with zombies that I think I've realized, and honestly, why I might not have liked Shaun of the Dead as much as you would have hoped I would, was because I like things to be as realistic as possible.
Okay.
And so I really enjoyed World War Z.
Okay, so World War Z.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, man.
What are you doing?
So World War Z is not believable, but if you want to watch a believable zombie movie that will freak you out, 28 Days Later.
28 Days Later? Okay.
Yep. That is the most
one with
realistic.
Sandra Bullock?
No, that's some sort of like love comedy. Jesus Christ. No, 28 Days Later is a British film.
28 Weeks Later.
Yeah, that's the remake. That's the sequel.
But isn't Sandra Bullock in here?
No, Jesus Christ. No, everyone's British. It's made in Britain or something. What the premise of that movie is that a government was testing a virus. They called it Rage, and it was a rabies virus. A bunch of tree-hugging hippie people go release these monkeys. The monkey bites someone and then releases a plague in
It doesn't
England.
look that good.
but it's the most realistic zombie movie. I've heard people say that they watch that movie and they're petrified of it.
Okay. I might have to give that a quick
because
shout.
that if you like realistic zombie movies and you think World War Z was realistic,
I'm not saying
this
realistic,
shows how quickly.
I think that's actually going to happen. I'm saying that it looks the best. How about that?
Yeah, I wouldn't classify 28 Days Later as zombies.
Yeah,
but they're the closest thing to like that could happen like within days. Like there's a human rabies virus that turns people into just monsters that want to beat up other people. Am I boring you? I guess you can fuck yourself. No. Oh, it's the first time I cursed, I think. Oh man, we were doing so good. We were actually doing good. Like you weren't gonna play like a song that like was gonna get us demonetized, and I said fuck. We could just edit this part out though, right?
Yeah, well,
I mean, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yo, you can say it too. Fuck it. It's the end, man. Just fucking chop it. You know, this is all bullshit.
No, it's good. Yeah, I'll check out 28 Days Later. If you guys give us something to watch in the comments, give us a zombie movie to watch or a disaster movie. How about that? Let's branch out to any end of the world type movie and we will review it and tell you how good or bad it was. Or
give us a plot of a disaster movie that Gerard Butler wouldn't sign up to be in because he's been in a lot.
That's another.
I mean, he gets a script and they're like, oh, does that? Yeah, fine, okay. He has them like stacked up. It's like, oh, this one's about a president. I'll do that one later. That's the third one. So yeah, he just keeps racking them out, man.
So yeah,
I mean, he might be in Sharknado like 9 or something. You know, I don't know.
So. This has been Talking Through Our Hats. I've been Derek. He's been Billy. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Anything else, Billy?
No. Excited for the next one. Guys, tune in, okay? Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe. If it's on Spotify, I don't know what that is.
Follow.
All over the place.
Spotify.
Follow, like, thumbs up.
Do
thumbs
everything
down if you hate us.
Yeah. No. Thumbs up always.
Thumbs down us too. I mean, because you never know.
How about this?
You want to send us that money to the PayPal?
Thumbs up if you hate us, and thumbs up if you like us. Okay, how about that?
That's smart.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys later. Next episode.